Mark here, cooking books, bringing information. Now, some of y'all gonna get this, some of y'all won't. Now, we all are aware of this COVID-19. There's a heightened awareness of COVID-19, right? Uh, and I want to talk to you guys from the metaphysical. There's metaphysical laws, right? And I want to quote one of the metaphysical laws, which is feedback loop system, and explain what it means, how it works, how it operates. And then some of y'all will get this, some of y'all won't. Some will agree, some won't. Again, take it for what it's worth. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But a feedback loop, right? Let me explain something. What is a feedback loop and how it works? I'm gonna give you in a very lay term, simple. I'm not gonna go too wonky, too scientific, too metaphysics to confuse or uh, bewilder and mystify you. I'm gonna keep it simple. A feedback loop is this in action. You miss a girl. You break up with your girl, so you miss her, and you make it up in your mind that you don't want to miss her anymore. So you say to yourself, I'm not going to miss her anymore. That's a wrong approach, because what you're engaged in now, you're actually setting a feedback loop in motion. What I mean by that is this: the more you say to yourself you're not going to miss her anymore, the more you're going to miss her. The more you say, the more you concentrate on not missing her, the more you miss her. The more you focus on not missing her, the more you're going to miss her. That's how feedback loops work, right? It compounds the problem. Okay? So when you think you're solving the problem, you're actually compounding the problem. You're augmenting the problem. By trying to solve the problem, you're augmenting the problem. Your solutions to the problem actually increases the problem. The more you solve the problem, the more you magnify the problem. The more you think you resolve the problem, the more you amplify the problem. Feedback loop one on one. Hope you guys got that. Very simple. Okay, moving on to the next. The next item that I want to itemize is your subconscious mind and how that works with the feedback system that I just explained in the previous statement. Your subconscious mind is simply a creative force. What it does, whatever you give to it, it churns out what is input. It's output input. Whatever you put in, it churns out. Again, your subconscious mind is a creative force. It does not discriminate, makes no distinctions, no bias, no prejudice. Whatever you feed it, whatever you give to it, it is going to churn out. Simply as that. That is the second item, the subconscious mind. Now I just explained that. And these are very, what do I call, simplistic, very lay, so that every and anyone can understand. If I'm in a room with a bunch of scientists, I'm going to get a little bit more wonky. I'm going to use scientific jargon, but I'm not going to do that here because I don't want to confound anyone or perplex or mystify or bewilder anyone. So this whole COVID-19 is being broadcasted, right? 24/7. You can't turn on the TV without seeing it. Social media, everywhere you look, everywhere you go, it's there. It's in your face. This is where a lot of people are not going to agree with me. And this is where I know that I can't see this happening. Call me a Debbie Downer, call me a naysayer, call me a pessimist instead of an optimist, but I just don't see it happening. But I do believe this is a solution. If everyone can collectively come together in a collective consciousness, again, this is Pollyannish. I know people are saying I'm being Pollyannish thinking like this, but if everyone can come together in a collective consciousness and do not believe, right? This is some this is a Jedi, Zen mind trick type stuff. The Matrix, Neo. If everyone can collectively have a collective conscience and do not believe in COVID virus, there would be no COVID virus. And the reason for it's like, okay, if you believe that you're not going to miss this woman anymore, you wouldn't miss her anymore. Rather than telling yourself, I won't miss her anymore, don't do that. Just believe that you won't, and it goes stops. The fact that by you actively trying not to miss her, you're feeding it, right? You are feeding the entity that's going to continue to return back to you what you're trying to get rid of. See, the science it can be a little bit heavy or confusing, but I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. So with all this COVID stuff that's being broadcasted, we're actually feeding the beast by continuing to reinforce, expand, amplify, and magnify the awareness of it. By becoming completely conscious and aware of this thing, we're actually engaging in what's called a feedback loop, because by trying to solve it, by being aware of it, we're actually amplifying it and giving it power. We're actually feeding it. COVID-19 is a virus. A virus is DNA. DNA is information. Information is energy. So in its purest and basic form. The way you combat energy is with energy. You can't combat it with anything else. And every human being in our purest basic form, broken down, analyzed, assessed, we're pure energy as well. So the only way we can overcome this energy is to fight it with an energetic approach, and which is to just completely not believe in it. Do not believe that it exists. Do not believe in it, and it can't. It will lose its power. Now I know this sounds magical. It sounds fanciful, fairy tale, some Matrix type nonsense that you would probably think. But the world is so much more mystique than you can ever imagine. Peace.